Yeah, I mentioned wide receiver, so I'll touch on that one quickly. I'm really interested to see what they do here. I think, Dobbs, Reed, Wicks, Golden, Williams are solid, but then you have the addition of Miko Hardman in the offseason from the Chiefs. And of course, then there's Malik Heath, and he's always kind of on the bubble every year. So, and then you also have to think about Christian Watson is coming back at some point too. So I feel like this may be the year that Heath really, really is on the chopping block per se. And, you know, if he can perform in this last preseason game against the Seahawks and no drops, really some nice route running. And I know it's hard in that sort of environment. You're not running with the ones and the guys who you would be doing it if you were to see snaps in the regular season. But I think he's a guy that really just needs to. There's a lot of tape, and hopefully he can prove himself at the last second here if he wants to make a roster spot because it's going to be tight. Cornerback is another one that I'm interested about, especially that fourth cornerback position. It seems like they've got, Valentine, Nixon, Hobbs kind of locked in, Bullard's in the slot. So what's that traditional, core spot after that? There's the Bo Melton of it all. And that's surely been an interesting thing to follow, making the switch from wide receiver and then Valentine. Do they go both? I think they may. It's just kind of interesting to see how that's going to shake out. And then tackles, I feel like there isn't a ton of wiggle room. Tom, Morgan, Walker, Belton, he's had his issues in the preseason, and we all saw that
Yep.
with LaFleur ripping into him on the sideline. But I think those are guys that they feel good about, and there won't be a ton of rotation there. There may be one or two guys on the bubble, but it'll be really interesting.